One of the obstacles that came up on Sunday morning from Priya was, how do we let go? How do we get unattached to outcome? How do we begin to not be caught in meeting our own needs and controlling the external environment so that it becomes what we want it to be? And that's a big practice, okay? But one that is constantly in front of us because we have been so geared to wanting to have a goal, focus attention in a certain direction, have an outcome that we want to get to, that goal setting process, that whole thing of, oh, we've got numbers that we need to meet, we've got expectations and obligations that we need. So, hey man, we're all wired for this stuff, all right? And the best way to kind of take a little bit of a step back is whenever you see that you are attached to an outcome, take a step back and just look at, oh, okay, well, what would it be like if I wasn't attached to that outcome? If instead what I do is I say, look, this is a vision, this is a direction that I'm moving, this is a yardstick, I'm moving in this direction, all right, but I know that those things are likely to change because I'm adaptable and fluid, and I have the ability to be to move in a way that gives me freedom. If I'm locked into a goal, it means that I become myopic in the direction. If I am locked into, all right, I need you to do something for me, all right, and what I do is have a conversation with you. That conversation is all about manipulating you to buy my widget or whatever it is that I want you to do. And we have a tendency to do it without really actually even being upfront about it. If what we can do is, I am unattached to the outcome, I'm going to have a conversation with you about what I would like you to do or what I wish that we could accomplish or how we could go, and suddenly we have a very different conversation than one that's coming from a subconscious way of manipulating you into doing what I want you to do. Now, a great deal of our lives is spent manipulating other people to doing what we want to do so that we get our needs met. And all of that is what creates the competition and the craziness and the I need to be right, and in order for me to be right, you have to be wrong, and we get caught in all of the judgment things, and all of that is just about letting go. You're not the arbitrator of truth. You don't know what the best decision is. You don't know what the best direction for the business is. You can have a perception, and you can share that perception with people, because otherwise what we do is, if I have a truth and you have a truth, then we're going to argue truth, or I'm going to manipulate you to try to verify myself so that you'll believe my truth, so I'll feel better about myself because I'm more in control of my personality, and my truth is, of course, better than anybody else's. Here we are. Wow. If we don't get rid of that, we don't get rid of judgment. Okay? If we don't have the fluidity and the agility to be able to really work with other people, we don't create. Now, that doesn't mean, by the way, that we don't have hierarchies. If you and I can't agree, my perception is this, your perception is this, perfectly okay. We can have different perceptions. If we can't work that out, well, that's when we go to the boss and say, my perception is this, your perception is this. We need to make a decision, and both of us will go along with that decision, right? Unattached to the outcome. I don't have to be right. If what I do is we go in and the boss says we go this way, and then I'm upset because we're not going my way, and I put everything in the bottom of my in tray, or I sabotage it, or I do something. Man, we do all these things just so we can be right, okay? And it's only right at the level of personality. It's only right at that self level. We're stuck in self-consciousness. Everything has to go through my thinking self, my intellect. It's all about that. It's not about acquiescing, all right, in a much gentler way to the environments that we live in, to the people that we connect with, so that we are much, much more opened, much, much more connected to doing the best that we can, but without being attached to the outcome after that, because there is so much in our world that we don't control. And we don't like to understand that because we want to be in control. It's really hard. And the only way that we can do that is to stay caught in personality, not take any risks, not do any changes, and we get stuck and we just kind of repeat. It's safe, it feels good, but we don't grow, we don't evolve. So we can't evolve unless you give up control, because control is going to keep you being who you are. And we've got to be heroes, man. We're going to be much more than who we think we are.